do you think we can finally say we've got a positive image or an outlook, or is there a good feeling about Qatar and the World Cup and the football that we've seen thus far? Do you think this helps? Have they washed their image, if we can go with that?
It's sad that there is. There is, and it's sad that there is, because this also is the ultimate show of sport washing. If FIFA could, which is why I said, like, being who they are, like, I don't know who they paid. If they could have engineered a scenario whereby when you take everything, because it's been a few years now of like these conversations about around Qatar, like, should we go there? And things have just kept on coming out. And then also, like, prior to this World Cup, we've seen like the documentary like around FIFA, and just the image is sullied, you know. And the image around this particular World Cup is this is who FIFA have become. We spoke about like Wenger talking the way that he spoke, that Germany and some of the teams are out because they're protesting. It's like, man, it's sad to see Wenger go out like that, because now he's a part of FIFA. He also has been infected by the cancer, you know. And if FIFA could have done anything, if they could have wished, prayed, paid someone, so that the thinking around this World Cup is maybe changed or is maybe redeemed, it would have been put on the greatest World Cup of all time. And this is what we've gotten. This is what we're talking about. There's not been chat around. There's not been time to even like think about and talk about the things that we're talking about prior to this, because already this is what football is, you know. And this is why like the owners who are coming into the game with a dodgy character, like in terms of why they're looking to football for like sport washing the image. This is why they do that, you know, because football has that community where when things get exciting, when things are unpredictable, like they're just all in on that, and nothing else in the world matters, unfortunately, in this case. And that is what has happened.
I think those are valuable points that you raised, because if you think about it, the things that have shone have been the intangibles that you can't buy. You can say they bought the World Cup, or they built the stadium with X amount of dollars, and they've put air conditioning, and they've provided best facilities and whatnot. But the feel-good factor, the fact that Messi could win his World Cup, has got nothing to do with Qatar. Like, you
realize if he does win, like, that's okay, that's a full stop in the greatest of all. That's going to be the conversation. Like, we're never likely going to revisit Qatar and the dark cloud that hung over them.
So when you bring, when you look at the fan bases, the Moroccan fan base, the African drums that were playing in the stadiums, you forget, as you're saying, what football brings are the intangibles. You forget that it's Qatar. We're in the stadium, we're having a good time. We're watching a good brand of football. It's exciting, and we forget what is actually the reality outside. And so,
on the tombs of the departed,
maybe it's mission accomplished in terms of sports washing. But I mean, I don't know if this gives us. I don't know, because there's still that idea with the Saudi owners, Man City, PSG, Newcastle. There's still that thing about them. Does this then say that should a Saudi or a Qatari owner want to buy United, that they're welcome now? Or do you think there's still speculation? Because end of the day, what Wenger is saying is that you guys are the West and you're saying whatever, let these people be and respect them and whatnot. And because you're protesting, you're out, you know? And that is FIFA speak, FIFA language. But do we think better of them, or should, basically what I'm trying to ask is that we shouldn't forget about what's happened prior and what has happened for the World Cup to become a reality. It's on the back of the people who worked tirelessly and who died, on the back of all that tireless work and all that stuff. But should we be warmer in our ideas of Qatar, or that was just the football?
I mean, I don't think like we should use football to say, well, that makes life better.
Yeah, because there's that story of the journalist who died under mysterious circumstances because
we spoke
shirt.
And we also spoke about, like, in terms of what with Saudi Arabia and their royal family, and I just forgot his surname now, but the journalist who was exposing them to the world, who then died under mysterious circumstances, which we can conclude what happened, you know. But the thing about time and experiences, when you have good experiences over a period of time, it becomes a magical potion to bring forgetfulness or to distract you. That's what the sport washing is, like, to distract you from the other thing that is very clearly happening or has transpired, and that you can focus in on what is happening. If Newcastle go into the Champions League and then eventually become a team like Manchester City, we are going to be talking about them the same way we're talking about Manchester City, and never visit the fact that who are they, who is sponsoring them to be at that level. So I don't think like we should allow like our consciences to just ignore real life things that have happened. I think there's a responsibility to each their own, but there's a responsibility on individuals to be able to still keep organizations that are as powerful in the minds of communities like FIFA to actually act responsibly themselves in terms of the power that they do have, you know. But what I do foresee happening is the fact that we're going to move away from the other things that are happening and just focusing on the football. And you know what, on the other side, people might say that's the reason we come to sport, to escape realities. I would ask the question, at what cost?